Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Danielle. I'm a nursing student attending Colorado Christian University. I'm pursuing a master's as well as a bachelor's degree in nursing, and I currently hold a RN license in the state of Colorado. I want to welcome you all to today's lecture. I hope you find a few words of encouragement. Congratulations on making it into nursing school. It'll be a very stressful, fun time. There'll be a lot of emotions. I definitely think it'll be worth it. You'll have to find that out for yourself, however. The purpose of this lecture today is to discuss what nursing is truly made up of. And those things are theory, research, science, art, and it also requires a lot of leadership. So I'll go ahead and break down each one of these sections and how nursing truly embraces each one of those. Starting off by theory, nursingtheory.org lists 30 theorists specific to nursing. Timeline-wise, those start all the way from Florence Nightingale in the mid-1800s, going all the way to Phil Barker and Jean Watson, who are currently in the nursing field today. So let's start off talking about Florence Nightingale. If you guys haven't heard of her yet, you guys will be taking her pledge when you guys attend your pinning ceremony. Long far down the road, if you can see into the future that far, Florence Nightingale has made a lot of work and really paved the road, the beginning of the road for nursing. She is well known for her environmental theory, which we still use today in care plans. And what that environmental theory really talks about is making sure our patients and residents have clean water, have warm places, or proper temperatures, their food is cooked correctly, that places are sanitized, that nursing needs to wash their hands, that food preparers need to wash their hands, basically decreasing the spread of bacteria, increasing not only increases overall morale, but really increases chances of survival and chances of getting better, which she really did prove during the Crimean War that she was in, and she really improved the outcome of those soldiers there. Moving into more modern times, we have Jean Watson, who I already had mentioned. She's got caring theory. You guys will also learn about Dorothy Oram, my favorite. That is the self-help deficit theory. We also have Hilgard Paplew, Imogene King. We have Martha Rogers. Several that you guys will be learning. Definitely those ones you guys will hit on. We also have in nursing non-nursing specific theorists, just to show how much nursing is really based off of theory and how much we embrace it. And those non-nursing theorists that you guys will learn about is Jean Piaget and Mr. Abraham Maslow. If you look at the PowerPoint that is in the description at the bottom of this video, on slide 5, you will see Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And that is his theory that he's very famous for, especially in the nursing world. And what you see is you have a pyramid here, and at the very bottom of the pyramid, we have physiological needs. And what that really is the basis that we need to survive. If you cannot fill this very bottom triangle, you cannot move to the next level. And then once you fulfill that level, you will be motivated to move on to a higher level, and so on and so forth, until you reach self-actualization. And that is really the highest you can achieve. And he says that many people actually do not get to this level. Most people actually are stuck between love and belonging and esteem, and they kind of teeter-totter back and forth. I find that very interesting. Nursing-wise, you will basically not basically, you will spend a lot of time safety needs for your residents and patients. You will learn how much safety means, and that you yourself has to be safe. That's a big part of NCLEX, is making sure that you're a safe nurse. So that's just a little quick insert on how nursing really embraces theory. So we will move on to research, and nursing really embraces research as well. That's partially a lot of the way we get our theory, and because theory is then somebody comes up with an idea, they research it. In nursing, we use evidence-based practice, and that is all research. So breaking down evidence, that evidence really is research. We research how to reduce falls, and what they have found is keeping call lights within reach. Also, keeping bed in low position. If they do fall, that reduces the risk of injury. Putting things that they will need, such as their cup of water, their TV remote, right next to them so that when they reach over, they don't fall out of bed. So that is one example of evidence-based practice, which is research. So just about anything we do in nursing is truly research to make sure that that brings the greatest outcome for our resident. So it's very important that you know the current research, current evidence-based practice in nursing. Moving on to science, we all know that nursing is a science degree. Believe it or not, it wasn't always that way. It wasn't even that long ago. But science, we do embrace in nursing. We've got the body systems, we have pathophysiology, my favorite. There's definitely a lot of science to that. There's a lot of learning. So we do embrace science. It really is a way to help out our residents, patients, to get them the greatest outcome. So making sure you stay current and really listen to all those science lectures and really listen to that pathophys. Make sure you know nitty-gritty how those body systems truly work. Moving on to art. You might say, art? How can that be possible? Well, nursing used to be an art degree. Just like drawing or painting, which I am not very good at, nursing takes talent. And it is definitely an art. Just a different, everybody has a little bit of different technique. As long as it's following the standards, you're okay. But nursing really does embrace art, and it is an art form. Moving on to leadership. Leadership. As a CNA, you may struggle with this. Moving up from the person who kind of takes orders, takes delegation, you're now the point person, and you're delegating to those CNAs. You're no longer able to go to the nurse and say, hey, I need help with this patient. They need their wound bandaged. You now are the one that needs to go and do that. That's an easy example, but sometimes there's a lot harder things that you get told and you have to deal with, and make sure that that patient is taken care of. I hope you've all learned the different styles of leadership, like democracy, laissez-faire, autocracy, bureaucracy, and the list goes on and on. You will definitely have to use different styles at different times, ranging from patient to patient, coworker to patient. So make sure that you are familiar with that. Nursing really does take a lot of leadership. So all of those together really help collaborate care, and it also helps collaborate team. And what I mean by that is it helps collaborative teams such as nursing, PT therapy, physical therapy. We've got OT, occupational therapy, hospice, the doctors, the primary care doctors, the urologist, the podiatrist, stuff like that. We also have palliative care. I think I mentioned hospice. And then we have, so basically all of those are collaborative teams. Anybody that helps take care of the patient, dining, those, all the science, research, theory, art, leadership, that is how you get a good collaborative team. That leadership really helps out with communication, which is a huge part in nursing. So, for example, not long ago, I had a resident who had normally would feed himself in the dining room. This was at a long-term care facility. He had a change in condition to where he was no longer able to feed himself. So the CNAs were feeding him. We had reached out to the family. I had let my manager know. We had let the doctor at his primary care office know. And nothing was really done. The CNAs were still having to feed him. I could tell that he was really disappointed. Breaking down to theory, really showing you how theory connects in this, is he was not able to make all his needs met. If we weren't feeding him, he would have basically starved ultimately. So Dorothy Orem, my favorite, we went ahead and met his needs that he needed, so we helped feed him while encouraging him the independence that he could do, which was he actually could lift the glass and drink himself. He was just not able to feed himself. So that's theory, clinical based practice. I knew that we had to feed him to make sure that he stayed healthy, so we went ahead and did that, and then I reached out to everybody in hopes to get some therapy, which I was not able to do, talking to those people who I had listed earlier. I really knew that he would just keep declining if he was not able to get some help, and I knew that God had really wanted me to help this man out, and I knew that I had to do more for him, really. I couldn't just let him keep declining with no help, because we definitely had it available. At that time, we just weren't able to get it to him. So I went ahead and reached out to his nurse practitioner, who had rounded, that was under the primary care provider, and I talked to her, and she was able to get an order for him to get occupational therapy, and she actually ordered speech and physical therapy for him as well. And they had really worked with him. They got him assistive devices, those forks. That's all he needed to help him eat, with some guidance. And he had really, in time, got back to his baseline, and he was really doing good again. And I really think that reaching out to the nurse practitioner was the right thing to do. I know that if I was in that situation, I would want the same thing, and I know that God is proud of me for doing, I don't even think it's the extra mile, but doing the right thing, to making sure that he's taken care of the way God would take care of me. So I hope you realize how nursing can also be a great ministry in any form of care, not just long-term care. Thank you for attending this short little lecture. I hope you learned really what nursing is made up of, not just caring. I hope you all have a great day, and thank you.